everyone, welcome back to another review. Today we're checking out one of my favorite figures I have gotten this year. This is the Transformers Studio Series Concept Art Deluxe Class Bumblebee Movie Sunstreaker. This thing looks amazing. Now, taking a little bit closer of a look at the details, you know what? Let's not even look at the figure yet because there's something else I want to appreciate. So let's check out this box. It's made out of super sturdy material. Feels really great. It's also smaller, which is nice, which means, you know, they're preserving materials and all that good stuff. Got your render here looking awesome. I know some people don't like the way he looks. I think he looks fine. And you got this really cool thing of Sunstreaker here with the hologram. And you can see it transforms in 19 steps. I think we can get it done in a few less steps. Words are hard. But yeah, you can see he's Bumblebee Movie Sunstreaker. And let's see what he says. Unreleased concept art Sunstreaker, Bumblebee Movie fighting the Decepticons.
What? Bro, what are you talking about, man?
On Cybertron. That's sort of what it says. I can't really read very. But yeah, taking a look at Sunstreaker himself, this thing looks awesome. Really everything that this guy shows off between the sculpt and all the colors that he's got really just gives off Sunstreaker vibes. It does feel very solid. The joints are not really gonna move. This one's a little loose, but you can see he's pretty darn solid for the most part. Very solid enough for me. I'm not too picky when it comes to this, but I know some people are, and when it comes to tolerances and everything, this guy is really amazing. The ankle tilts were a little bit tight out of the box, but that's probably the only thing that was a little too tight for my liking. But everything else in this guy is pretty fantastic. I think the only qualm I have with the look of him is I wish he had just a little more paint. Some gunmetal and some silver accents would have done some wonders for this guy. Luckily, that's something I can fix. Stay tuned. This guy looks great front to back. Looking at the kibble here, there's not much, to be honest. I know some people take issue with the big wheels on the back, but I just think that looks really cool. It doesn't really get in the way of the guy's overall look. Some people do it like this, and initially when I opened this guy up on stream, that's what I thought this was, but no, this actually folds down like so. So Sunstreaker's articulation is interesting. So for the head, we've got, you know, this, but nobody's going to be using that. So if he's got a little up side is sort of limited due to his chin. Good thing he doesn't have an animated chin. But, you know, pretty good. You can sort of fake it up until the sculpt kind of breaks. Shoulders, this is my main issue. I don't know why Hasbro keeps doing this. I get that there's a hinge right here, but I know there is definitely a way for you to make another hinge right here. There's definitely space. And this makes it very difficult to get him into poses. Because he's got these big old shoulder pads, and you know, that's the most you get. Now, if you flip this up, you'll get a little bit more, but then you get something that looks a little bit like this, and that's just difficult. But, you know, it's alright. Full 360, elbows bend about 90, no wrist swivel. He's got bicep swivel though, which is nice. He's got a waist swivel. He has got about this far forward, this far back, out to the side is, you know, decent range. Knees bend about 90, a little less than that, but, you know, let's not be too specific here. This is my favorite part of his articulation. So he's got feet going up for transformation, great ankle tilt, and even a little bit back. So having articulated feet is so amazing for a Transformer. You guys have no idea. So that helps him be a lot more stable on the ground. That also helps him get into more of these kinds of poses, like this. And yeah, you get what I'm saying. You get what I'm saying. But bring this guy in close, you can see that super awesome head sculpt. Yeah, man, that's some good stuff. And looking at all the sculpted detail, there's a hollow gap here, but so what? Come on, let's not get ahead of ourselves now. But yeah, you can see they even sculpted some areas that you don't even see. And that's just so awesome. Like even the back, right here, when you flip out this panel, you don't see this. You don't see this in robot mode. I don't think you see it in vehicle mode either. I think this is the bottom. And they still sculpted it, which is so awesome. Thank you, Hasbro, for taking the extra mile. Now, one thing I would like to mention that's interesting to me is that his legs have a little clicking point right here. I'm not quite sure what that is. I'm probably just going to clip that off because it's not necessary for me. It was probably one of those running changes in production, is my assumption. But for what it's worth, with the look, the sculpt, and the paint, 9 out of 10. Now, Sunstreaker actually comes with 2 of these guns here, and they're both sculpted in this gray. Now, I guess I like the gray, it's fine, but it could definitely use a metallic gunmetal coat for sure. They can tab together, and they can be separate. You can put them on his hands using that peg. Although, it's sort of weird because it feels like there's specific hands which you should put it in, but there's also not. You can also plug them in this port on the back, which is my preferred choice. You can do down or you can do up. I like up. I think up looks super cool. I think that really completes his look for me. I think that adds that color that he needs for the robot mode in terms of his torso area. But for what it's worth, you know, that's the accessories. All right, so for size comparison, here he is with the Bumblebee Movie RC. So, you know, he's a little bit taller than her, definitely twice as wide. Here he is with the Bumblebee Movie Ratchet. So they're about, I'd say Ratchet's just a bit taller. I'd say he's a little bit wider. Here he is with the Studio Series Barricade. Here he is with APC Toys Megatron. Just thought I'd pull him out. Here he is with my custom Bumblebee Movie tracks. So, a little bit out of whack there. And finally, let's compare him to the original G1 Sunstreaker from Earthrise. So yeah, you can see there's a lot of design traits that they share with the head, the overall stature of the figure, the fact that the legs have the front of the car, and the arms help form the back. Or do they? Let's find out in the transformation. Alright, so to transform Sunstreaker, it's actually very simple. So let's get started. First step you're going to want to do is fold in his feet, making sure they are secure. Now make sure the legs are as straight as they can be. Move this panel on this hinge, and you're just going to want to, this tab here is going to go into this slot. So sort of just maneuver it in a way that you can get it so it looks a little bit like this. Do the other side. So it actually helps a little to wiggle the foot, but it's pretty easy to tab in. Next, go ahead and rotate these together and tab them in like so, and you can see the front of the car is already done. Next step is coming to the back here and flipping this up. Then we're going to open this panel up, hinge it forward, then hinge it forward again on this double hinge. Bring these to the side. You're going to want to move them around this front piece. Next, go ahead and fold these up like so. Take the shoulder pads and fold them up as well. Then you're going to want to go ahead and flip these in like so. And then that's going to allow you to go ahead and flip this up. Take this, flip it forward. You're also going to want to hinge this sort of so it's like, and then you're going to want to flip the head in until it clicks into place. Don't fold this down just yet, just to make it a little easier for us to slide these pieces in like so. Go ahead and close this piece up. Oh, there we go. Then take this piece, tab it in, and then take the back pieces, tab them in. And here we have Bumblebee Movie Sunstreaker in his awesome looking alt mode. Now, I'm gonna say it again, there needs to be more paint. Here, here, here would really help make this guy look a little more like a car instead of a block of cheese. Let's just say that. But you can take his guns here, and just to help the look, you can go ahead and plug these in. You can also plug them in on either side, like so. I can peg it in, there we go. So you can peg it in like that. One really cool thing that they did with this alt mode, I would like to point out, is they've engineered the wheel so the outside isn't actually the wheel, but the inside. I'm sure you know this by now because this is probably the 5th time you've seen a review of this figure. And you can see the glowing wheels, and that's sick. That's awesome. I would have liked for this to be painted in a little bit brighter of a blue, just for it to pop a little more, but I guess it's fine for what it's worth. Alright, so I've only got a couple size comparisons here. I apologize, but transferring all these off camera would not be very much fun. So the first is Bumblebee Movie RC, and you can see, get it? You can see that he's about the same length, but definitely a good bit wider. I really like just the chunk of this car. It's really amazing, and I just love it. And of course, it wouldn't be a proper size comparison if I didn't pull out the Earthrise. And man, this just looks so good. I honestly wish there was a little bit of orange on the Earthrise. It's kind of a plain alt mode. But yeah, loving how these two look together. And so, wrapping up on this review for Bumblebee Movie Sunstreaker, I can confidently say that this will be a can't-miss figure in your collection. Despite the flaws, most of them are very minimal. The shoulders is probably the worst thing I have to say, and that's -1 point. This thing is a solid 9 out of 10. And by the way, did I mention I got this thing for $14 at Target? It's Circle Week, 30% off. Go to your Targets. I'm actually gonna try to hit up another Target tomorrow if I can convince my parents. As of recording this, we'll see what happens, but for what it's worth, if you see Sunstreaker at your local Target for 20 bucks, even if it's not Circle Week, when you find it, buy this thing. It's worth 20, it's worth 25. It's genuinely one of the best deluxes Hasbro has ever released, and I can say that with confidence. Thank you all so much for watching. Go check out my website, go check out my memberships, and go check out all the rest of my videos, and join my Discord, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye.